Thank you. Please be sure to sign the attendance sheet back there for the record. Next, I'd like to introduce the members of the Planning Commission and our support staff. Starting on my far left over there is Ray Reed. Coming in towards me is Dave Fugate, Doug Brozan, Pete Cabella on my right. At the far end, the young lady there is Denise Pizarro, recording secretary, young lady. How about that, huh?
Thank you.
About time.
And next to her is Tony Sitter. In the back on my left is Jennifer Herniason, the Township Council. And next to her is Matt Waldinger, the Director of Planning and Development. And on my right, the young lady back there is Julie Maggio, the Assistant Zoning and Development Officer, and Matt Puz, the Zoning and Development Officer, and I am Gene Strohmeyer. Before we begin, let me back up here. Happy Veterans Day to everyone. Thank you. Before we begin, I call for a motion to accept the minutes of last month's meeting as written.
So moved. Second.
Any comments or anything? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Mill Creek Planning Commission is a recommending body that hears testimony, asks and answers questions, deliberates, and passes our recommendations on to the Mill Creek supervisors, who make the final decisions on the issues brought before us. The subdivision and our land development discussed tonight, if acted on by the Planning Commission, will be considered by the Township Supervisors at their regular meeting to be held on Tuesday, November 25th, 2025 at 4:30 in this room here. The first item on the agenda tonight is Equity Trust Company. It is a subdivision plan to show the creation of a 7,106 square foot lot number 1 and a 7,355 square foot lot number 2 from 1243 East Arlington Road, located along the south line of East Arlington Road, west of Wattsburg Road in the South Gore Tract. Someone here to represent that, please come to the podium and give us your name and address.
Good evening. My name's Taylor Hoover. I'm representing Equity Trust Company tonight. The address we're talking about is 1243 East Arlington. This house we actually bought from Marquette as a Marquette foreclosure back in February. If you've been there before, it was really, really let go. You couldn't see the yard, couldn't see the house. Took like 8 30-yard dumpsters out of the house, and we completely remodeled it. Spent tons and tons of money on that, and so we're at the point where we have a business of quality rentals. We rent rental properties here in the city of Erie, Mill Creek, Girard, Lake City, and we turned this property into a rental. So it's actually rented right now. A tenant moved in. It's all fixed up, ready to go. But with that lot, it's just too big of a lot to have for a tenant or has a rental. And this neighborhood in here, especially in Mill Creek, is a bunch of smaller lots. Like if you go look at, pull up the thing, there's like on East Arlington, there's like 10 lots that are 40 lots. You go to Bellevue, now there are 10 houses that have 40 wide lots at the front entrance. So with this lot, we had it surveyed. We're like 1.5 feet off from the minimum frontage for the front of the lot. But once you get, the lot opens up, it gets back, you have the frontage for the house. We're looking to we're looking to sell the lot right now just to recover some of our costs. But if honestly, we might just develop it ourselves if we can't sell the lot and put something else, like a patio home, something that matches that neighborhood and go from there. So that's what we're looking to do. I don't know if any more questions or thoughts or, this is my first time, so I've never done this before, so see how it goes.
Anybody have any questions or comments or anything for him?
Yeah.
We did have a question.
Don't tell me.
Is there a shed or another substance on the lot that is going to be subdivided? Is there anything?
There was a shed, but we moved it over to the other lot where they, for the tenant, so they can store their lawnmower and things like that. So
The house is.
no houses. There's just one building.
The shed to where.
Yeah, we moved the shed over.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's a non-issue,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, we kind of have it staked out right now too of where the proposed line is, so we can kind of figure that out, so.
Okay. Nothing? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The second and last item on the agenda.
Mr.
I'm
Chairman.
sorry, does anybody in the audience have anything to say about this? Sorry about that.
Good evening. My name is Mike Bednar. Okay, I'm the property owner at the 1250 Arden Road and 1256 Arden Road. I was able to touch base with the people that own the property at 12 64. And everything here now that we see on the board pretty much borders those property lines, okay? So I just want to say I like the idea that you're willing to ask me questions, because boy, I can tell you just about everything that I've experienced over 63 years. I'm 69 years old, and I moved out there in 62. The one neighbor there has even lived longer than that. Now, we were all growing up, tight community. You know what can happen when you have all the same families that are all either involved scholastically, athletically, and our big thing was transportation. We all rode around in the same, everybody else's vehicles, and we all helped each other work on their vehicles. It really broke down a lot of barriers for being neighborly to each other. So that's what I grew up with, okay? I live at 1250 Arden Road right now, and just for the past 5 years, I've been by myself. Now, I like it. I just can't really, I want to make sure you guys ask me some questions, because I have some history there that maybe just doesn't support the idea of rentals, okay? It wasn't too long ago that I actually bought the property at 1256. Now, the history behind that is in 1994, there was a fire there. Mary lived there for years. My dad bought the property off Mary's dad and built there. And actually, our property was a dump. I'll let you know, I'm always digging up glass when I'm doing gardening, okay? But boy, my parents worked on it. I still enjoy working on it and everything. But anyway, Mary lived next door, got older, and then sold the home, okay? As a rental came in, we had an incident there. Again, it was July 1994. Whoever was renting it, I guess had an unwelcome visitor, but the fire brought the house down. I remember Chip Love coming out the next day and everything, and I remember the other fire inspector, Mitchell, he was there. I mean, I saw that. I look out my windows, you know? So I guess what I want to say is now it's moved into that phase where it's a rental scenario. Boy, I can stop right there and say, you know, what have I seen? Yeah, I've seen some things that didn't occur when it was a family-based situation, okay? So I guess have to say, like, one I can really draw from in particular was this girl that actually owned the property at 1243. We were good, friendly people to each other. And she had dogs, and she must have had 8 dogs. And I said, hey, how many dogs do you have? She couldn't even tell me how many she had. But the incident that occurred then was the other people that had dogs, boy, it just didn't work out right. Supportive services came in 2 times actually, to resolve some scenarios that just couldn't be resolved between the 2 parties. But that's just one little whatever. I guess we can all live with that. It happens every place, maybe even. But I just want to let you know again that it was a really neighborly thing. In fact, and have to get a little bit off the topic here a little bit, but Arden Road is actually a private road. My road at 1250, where it ends in front of 1250, actually ends, it pretty much comes out even with 1241, which is the next house going west, okay? So that gives you an idea about how long that stretches between the rental 1243 on Arlington to Wattsburg Road, okay? That's the length there. So we're talking about 3-4 houses in that span. I just guess I better drop it for there now, but if there's any questions, I'd like to, you know, I gotta say, this guy did a great job. He took me through this home. I was really impressed with what he did. I had been in that home numerous times. I could tell you everything I observed over 63 years. And believe it or not, that was actually a rental at one time, but it was, most of the people stayed in there I'd say even at least 3 years, 4 years even. But it's different now. They did a nice job. I just have this feeling I need to provide some cautionary information about rentals. There have been some incidents because we aren't family-oriented. For example, I've not had to call the police, okay? First time in my life I ever had to call the police within the last 5 years when I was a homeowner. Secondly, had the state police down there. The constable from Venango Township was down there on Arden Road. When I saw that state police on Arden Road, I said, oh, okay, what's up? He didn't know the house number. I said, okay, well, it's here. And we were able to get the individual to come out, and the guy was in a bulletproof vest and everything. I don't know what the thing was that was being resolved, but I took my distance and just waited it out, and there hasn't been any problem since then. But again, that's the kind of thing I'm able to communicate with that particular household really well, okay? So they, we have some trust in between us, I think. But I just have to say it, a lot of the other ones, no, I can't say that I've really had the opportunity to really talk to them.
I see that these guys put a lot of money into it. And they put a lot of money and a lot of investment into it. They want to keep it nice, and I don't think they're going to, run it down or rent it to undesirables maybe. So I think you're actually very lucky to have a good investor to have developed the place and clean it up the best he has. I think you're lucky.
I tend to agree with you. I really do. Yes, that's just the way I see it too. Those guys stayed right on that home. When I was, like I said, my property, I got to give them credit, man. They were right there all the time, working on it. Did so much there. Really did. I just have to say, with the breakdown of the family, and it's just something I always has recognized at the beginning, the problem with it.
It's all over.
It's all over, exactly. Thank you for, the police have been responsive. I got an incident number on the thing that really was a problem for me. But things are better.
Good.
Thank you.
If that's all, if you don't have any questions, I'll be happy to, but,
Questions for him?
sure. Pardon me? Oh, you know what I was, you know what I remembered the other day? Remember, you were coaching. Yeah, well, you were coaching. I was pitching 1971 up at Feidler Field, Waldemere, first game of the season. And wasn't there that thing you really never won the first game of the season? Wasn't? Okay, because you came out and you were so happy. I just remember that. Yeah. You were so happy that, and I was so tired. I just remember that, but I would have been 14 years old at that time. But boy, those were good. Those were good days.
Tell him you got the curveball down.
Well, I can throw a curve, no problem. I was actually control. I couldn't, I never even tried to throw a curve. I could throw one, but I stuck with what.
I was to say I was a good coach.
Oh, you were a good coach. I just remember so much about you and where you are, Gary, and oh boy, great guy, Gary. Great guy you were, Doug. Yeah. Okay, very good. I hope they can keep good tenants, and yeah, me too. All right. Okay, that'll be it for now.
All right, thanks.
I have a quick question.
Name and address. Name and address.
Chris
Please.
Falcinello, 1257 East Arlington Road. I'm never came to one of these before. I'm very ignorant with everything about this. I just have a question. I noticed on this map up here, so this is my house right here. It looks like the boundary line goes right through my garage. That house has been built in 1940, so it's been there for quite some time. I just,
Mr. Chair,
for my knowledge, I would just like to know what,
so, yeah, well, let me just explain a little bit, at least what you're seeing there. That is, the developer presents us with a survey of the lot, and our office superimposes that over an aerial photograph that is not survey grade as far as where the property lines are drawn. And so that does appear as though that line goes through your garage, but the survey that was done by Laird Surveying would have shown an encroachment on the property, on the actual survey itself, if your building was over the line and they don't show it. So there's some errors in the way they take those aerial photos and then superimpose the lines over the top, and I think that's what you're seeing there.
okay. So I guess my follow-up question would be, is there gonna be a boundary dispute in the future with this property? or-
I know it's close to your garage, it's not we had it surveyed. but
Right.
I think that land has been forgotten, right? It's kind of
Sure.
where people overtaken.
Well, you guys probably saw when you came in there, the only piece of piece of ground on that property was what I mowed and tried to keep away from mine.
So I have no boundary dispute, and so.
That's it, that's all I had, but I think you guys answered that question.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, the second item on the agenda and last one is for 2707 West 16th Street. It's a land development plan to show the construction of a 1,440 square foot warehouse with associated stormwater facilities and parking at 2707 West 16th Street, located along the south line of West 16th, west of Lowell Avenue, in tract 15. Sir.
Matthew Nemec, 806 Ardmore Avenue. I have a construction company that I've had for almost 50 years now, and we currently lease space not far from there, but that's being sold, and I'm going to build a warehouse to store my equipment and materials. And it's good to see you, Gene, after a dozen years or so.
Would you be storing any ice boats or anything in that facility?
I certainly will. I was saying, Gene, it's good to see you after a dozen years or
Been a
so.
long time. Anybody have any questions for him or anything?
And you're aware of the question about the setback, building lines and the issue of, I think that based on the preliminary plan, you would need to move the building back 5 feet?
Yes, and I believe that's all been corrected on the plans.
Okay.
Anything else for them? Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm assuming that nobody has there's nobody left here to have any comments, I guess. Okay, we won't take a time off here, we'll just go on with it and get it done, okay? All right, the first one is the Equity Trust Company subdivision plan to show the creation of a 7,106 square foot lot number 1 and a 7,355 square foot lot number 2 from 1243 East Arlington Road, located along the south line of East Arlington Road, west of Westbrook Road in the South Gore tract. We hear a motion?
Yeah, I would so move, and maybe to note for the minutes, the modification of the one lot, Lot 2 frontage of 48.42 feet, slightly less than the prescribed 50 feet.
Second.
Any comments, anything? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. And the other item is the 2707 West 16th, a land development plan to show construction of a 1,440 square foot warehouse with associated stormwater management facilities and parking at 2707 West 16th Street, located along the south line of West 16th, west of Lowell Avenue, and tract number 15.
Make a motion to approve.
Any comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you very much. Is that all we have on the agenda tonight, correct?
I have nothing additional.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any questions, comments?
None.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We stand adjourned at,
Now, Matt, you did say you have room for more